Let's jump into our primary topic and talk about Pantheon Autopilot. And I think the biggest question on my mind right now, I've read the documentation, so I kind of know, but Nathan, what is Pantheon Autopilot?
Sure. So short version is it automatically updates your Drupal modules and it does a visual regression test to alert you of any visual changes on your site. So it basically targets that problem of everybody who runs open source sites. Like we love the power and flexibility that it offers, but it comes with some maintenance, and people solve that different ways. But clone it to an isolated environment, update the modules, look at things, make sure that the site hasn't fallen over, try to compare what it looked like before and after, then deploy the modules live. That whole mess, basically taking an automated approach to giving you a first layer of just kind of smoke testing, making sure that everything looks and works the same.
And you said Drupal modules, so it's not just core, it's any installed Drupal module?
Yeah, core and contrib.
Oh, interesting. That's super cool.
Yeah.
So how does Autopilot work under the hood?
It runs on Pantheon, so we'll actually spin up a multi-dev environment, so an isolated environment just to run the tests, and then we take a baseline set of screenshots, and then we run the upstream updates, so core and all the contrib updates. So it's running a drush and things under the hood to do the updates. Then it's taking another set of screenshots and running a visual regression test, and then it will alert you if anything has changed. You're allowed to change the thresholds. Like if you have pages that it has a random testimonial, and so it's always going to change 2 or 3%. You can say only alert me above 5%. We can also exclude certain DOM elements if you want to say just remove that Google banner ad, by the DOM selector, so don't ever include it in the screenshot. You can do that. So there's a number of fiddly options like that. But basically, if everything passes, then you have a choice. You can configure it to go all the way to live. So if you launched a site like 2 years ago and you want to just kind of leave it in autopilot on maintenance mode, you can have it go all the way live. Or if it's really actively developed and or you have some other CI pipeline, you could just deploy it to the test environment and have autopilot stop and have the rest of your pipeline pick up, or like just deploy to dev if you want.
That sounds quite similar to Backstop. Is it built on top of Backstop, or is it something in-house or? Yeah.
So we started with Backstop. Backstop's a command line tool. And so you try to force a command line tool into the pipeline, you get some issues sometimes with parsing the output. And we broke apart some of the components that Backstop was using. So we've kind of forked Backstop, and then it's kind of turned into our own internal service.